Good afternoon, it's meteorologist Michael Fecke, and we are doing another afternoon update here for you on our Sunday. We do have that first alert that's going to be in effect here through later this afternoon and into tonight. We do have that chance for a few more strong to severe thunderstorms to move through the tri-state. And again, the main risks here are going to be that potential for some localized areas of flooding, as well as the potential for some isolated damaging wind gusts, and you can't even rule out that chance of a brief spin-up tornado. Now, here's a look at that risk in general across the tri-state. It isn't a huge risk. It is a low risk. It's a level 1 out of 5, but it does encompass the entire tri-state, and there is that spin-up tornado risk. So that's why we went ahead and issued that first alert for today. So we're not expecting widespread severe weather. I do think many of us will get into some of those showers and storms here later this afternoon and into tonight, but not every single one of those storms is going to be producing strong or severe characteristics. So just keep that in mind here. Here's a look at each individual risks. We'll start off with a look at our flooding. That's actually our highest risk for today, is going to be that potential for those torrential downpours. You know, some of these storms, especially if they're slow moving, can put down a quick 1 to 2 inches in just an hour. So that's something that may lead to some isolated to scattered areas of flooding. So that will be our primary risk. But looking at the other severe risk, we are sitting at that level 1. So an isolated damaging wind gust is possible, and then an isolated brief weak spin-up tornado. Again, we're not expecting anything extremely strong here. It's just that some of those storms may be able to take advantage of all the conditions just right to produce maybe a severe thunderstorm or even a spin-up tornado there. So here's a look at our current radar. I'm going to try and make this stream on the more brief side. I just wanted to give you guys the information that I have and show you what's going on right now. It's generally pretty quiet here across the tri-state. We have one lone shower sitting over White County there just to the northwest of Carmi. It did produce a little bit of lightning, but it looks like it's kind of bubbling down at this point in time. Then we've got a few showers there in far northwestern Wayne County. The majority of the action is still off to our west, and as these storms continue to build up along this weak wave of low pressure, we'll start to see some showers and storms developing from southwest to northeast, and then eventually it'll all kind of come to an end from northwest to southeast as we get into later tonight. So I think the biggest difference between today and tonight is going to be that timing. It's going to be a little bit later, so I think some of these storms will linger later on into the evening. I do still think we'll be quiet generally after midnight, but the best chance for these storms is going to be between 3 to 11 o'clock tonight, and I think the greatest coverage of those showers and storms are going to be between 5 to 11. So that's kind of the time frame we're looking at here. Here's a look at the future radar, our in-house model, showing some of those storms again beginning to develop off to our west, sending maybe a few stragglers out ahead of that main wave of low pressure there. But you could see here we are around 5 p.m. We're seeing some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms bubbling up over the tri-state there, and it looks like as this low passes over the area, winds will start to come out of the northwest. We'll see kind of a quasi cold front swing through, and then that will kind of keep the showers going there a little bit later. So here we are into 10 p.m. We're still looking at a few stray showers and downpours across the tri-state before we start to really dry out generally after midnight. Now there is still that potential for maybe a stray shower over western Kentucky, but that really shouldn't pose any severe threat. And then waking up early tomorrow morning, we'll see mostly to partly cloudy skies, and then we do still have that chance, or at least daily chances, for showers and storms as we go through much of next week. So looking at the longer range European model, just kind of showing it's going to be a rinse and repeat pattern here each and every day. We'll have that chance for showers and storms. It's not going to be raining all day every day, so neither day for the next week is going to be a washout. But you can just see each afternoon we have that isolated risk for a few pop-up showers and storms Monday, Tuesday, again into Wednesday, and then it looks like a front is going to try and make its way through the region by Thursday and into Friday. And unfortunately, I remember talking to you guys yesterday about maybe a glimmer of hope towards next weekend with a high pressure system building in, and that will kind of help squash those storm chances. Well, it looks like that is already gone. So we're already tracking out more showers and storms through next weekend as well. So it really just doesn't want to give us a break. It doesn't want to give us one dry day through the next week. So we're just going to continue to be kind of hot and humid out there with those chances for showers and storms through next week. So Here's a look at our precipitation outlook. We still will likely remain right around average or even slightly above. It just depends on if you get one of those heavier showers or storms to move through. And then again, we're tracking out temperatures likely remaining right around average or slightly above through the middle and end of the month as well. So there's a look at your 7-day forecast. Temperatures will be at least into the upper 80s for tomorrow, so maybe a bit cooler, but still quite humid out there. It's going to be humid through all of next week. Temperatures will start to climb back up into the lower 90s by the middle of next week, and then there's that daily chance for showers and storms, at least through next weekend. So that is what we're looking at for the forecast. I'll go back and kind of just go over what we're expecting through the rest of this afternoon because that's what that alert is in effect for. So again, looking at each individual risk, our highest risk for any storms that develop today are going to be that localized flooding threat. That's where we're sitting at mostly a level 2 across the tri-state, but we do have that isolated chance for a damaging wind gust and even that isolated risk for a brief spin-up tornado. So again, nothing widespread severe, but there is that potential there. So that's what we highlighted for with that first alert, and I'll go over what the radar is looking like right now. Again, we have that lone shower just sitting up towards White County, just northwest of Carmi, but most of the showers and storms are off back to our west over southeastern Illinois and southeastern Missouri and into southern Illinois right now. This will just all generally work in our direction here through the late afternoon and into tonight. So the storms will linger a little bit later than they did yesterday, but I still think most of us will kind of quiet down generally around midnight or after that. So between 3 to 12 is what we're looking at for the time frame of those storms. And again, any given storm could produce that isolated risk for a damaging wind gust or even a spin-up tornado. But looking at our timing here, just our future radar showing a few of those showers and storms starting to bubble up over southern Illinois, maybe a stray one popping up through the tri-state by around 5 o'clock. But in general, again, nothing too widespread here. The storms will likely remain more scattered, even more so than they were yesterday. Yesterday, they kind of all lined up in a line. Today, I think it's just going to be more pick and choosing where they want to bubble up, and then maybe we could start to see a line organized this evening around 8 p.m. Through midnight there, but it looks like that'll just kind of be weakening as we'll be losing daylight and that heating element. So again, it's an isolated severe risk. It's not widespread or anything major, but I do still want you guys to keep an eye on the sky, especially if you're going to be out there this evening, and make sure you have a way to receive a warning if you are placed under warnings, especially if there is that rogue tornado warning that is possible. So that is all I have here for the forecast, so I'm just going to keep it brief. Look at your questions one more time. It looks like we got a couple of people in here just saying good afternoon, thanking us for the info. No problem. That's what we do here. Hillary asked, do we expect a tornado watch? I'm not really expecting a tornado watch. We just got a mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. They say that watch issuance is pretty unlikely. They gave it around a 20% chance. So not expecting a watch, but again, still want you guys to remain vigilant and have a way to receive a warning in case you get placed under one. It looks like Matthew says, I am definitely over the rain. I am too, if you couldn't tell. Each week I come in and I'm like, this is going to be the week where we get at least one dry day, and then it never happens. So that's just the pattern we're stuck in here. It's going to be a wet, muggy week ahead of us once again, but it won't be raining every second of every day, so there's still plenty of dry time each day. You just got to find your time to enjoy it when you can. So that is all I have here. I'm going to hop off the live stream. I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 5 o'clock tonight. We'll have the latest news and weather headlines for you there. And of course, as these storms roll in, if we do get any of those warnings, I'll be popping in and out on air on 14 News. And of course, if there is a tornado warning, we'll be covering that wall to wall until that warning expires. So we'll keep you updated here, and just stay tuned to the radar and keep an eye on the sky. Stay safe.